Unit 4 Logistics. These are the learning outcomes. Appreciate the importance of this process in the industry. Identify the importance processes in logistics. Relate the importance of logistics in hospitality industry. To everyone, these are the logistics from the supplier to the manufacturer to the distributor to the retailer and the shopper. What is inbound logistics? Inbound logistics, the way materials and other goods are bought into a company. This process includes the steps to order, receive, store, transport, and manage incoming supplies. It focuses on the supplies part of the supply demand. What is outbound logistics? This refers to the transportation, the storage, and the delivery of goods to customers or other businesses. It relates to the sales of goods out of the company to the outflow of the goods from the product line to the end users. What is the reverse logistics? It's a type of supply chain management that moves goods from customers back to the sellers or manufacturers. Once a customer receives a product, processes such as returns on recycling require reverse logistics. The third-party logistics. It provides offers outsourced logistics services which encompass anything that involves management of one or more facets of procedures and fulfillment. Activities to any services contract that involves storing or shipping items. The 4PL logistics or the fourth party logistics is an operational model in which a business outsources its entire supply chain management and logistics to one external service provider. So everyone, those are the logistics. Thank you.
Inventory. K. Inventory. Developing an inventory policy as it relates to targeted customer service levels. Inventory control, also called stock control, is the process of ensuring the right amount of supply is available in an organization. With appropriate internal and production controls, the practice ensures the company can meet customer demand and delivers financial elasticity. Inventory control enables the maximum amount of profit from the least amount of investment in stock without affecting customer satisfaction. Done right, it allows companies to assess their current state concerning assets, account balances, and financial reports. Inventory control help avoid problems such as out of stock or stock out events. For example, Walmart estimated it missed out $3 billion worth of sales in 2014 because its inadequate inventory control procedures led to stockouts. An integral part of inventory control is supply chain management or SCM, which manages the flow of raw materials, goods, and services to the point where the company or customer consume the goods. So, Chakara, integral means is to make a whole complete.
Planning inventory based on demand patterns and production schedules. Forecasting sales demand planning for a business involves analyzing the available quantitative and qualitative data. By utilizing tried and proven methods, you can keep improving the efficiency of your ordering process, maintaining the right stock in the right amount. On time ensures customer gratification. It could also be the primary difference between losing your customers and retaining them. The key to a successful demand planning strategy is to use the right tools to optimize your inventory. Use these platforms to maximize your manufacturing. Automation with inbuilt sales analytics allows for real-time tracking of your inventory. Inventory management software helps you improve warehouse organization, reduce costs, and prevent product shortage or excess stock.
Cycling counting is a method of checks and balances by which companies confirm physical inventory counts match their inventory records. This method involves performing a regular count and recording the adjustment of specific products. Over time, they have counted all their goods, regardless of whether a company uses periodic or perpetual inventory practices to track their inventory. Regular cycling counting is a necessary con- auditing process. There are a number of advantages of a cycle count over a physical count. It takes time while helping you improve inventory accuracy and deliver product reliably, and there are a number of different approaches.
We all know nga ang main functions ng inventory is to provide operations with an ongoing supplies of materials. To achieve these functions effectively, your business should strive to find a sweet spot between too much and too little, without ever running out of stock. This successful balance may improve the cash flows and profitability and keep your company running smoothly. And now we are going to discuss the 5 functions of inventory. So the first function of inventory is a buffer inventory. So what is buffer inventory? It also known as the safety stock, supply chain safety net, or contingency stock. It refers to a surplus of inventory that is stored in a warehouse in case of an emergency, supply chain failure, transportation delays, or unexpected surge in demand. There are several ways to determine a healthy level of buffer stock, but it will require you to have access to a historical inventory and order data and other tools to help you find the optimal amount of inventory buffer to order. Now we will learn ano ang advantages of having a buffer inventory and the different ways to calculate the right amount. The amount of buffer inventory you decide to store can be based on the type of products you sell, average production lead times, and historical inventory and order trends. Sometimes the bad changes and demand can be predicted, such as running flash sales or other types of planned promotions. Other times, a business might see an influx in sales due to a sudden change in demand or market shortage. Ang exact example na gid is ang hand sanitizer or pwede man ang mask during the COVID-19 pandemic. Bisan hindi natin mapredict a higher volume of orders in the near future, having a buffer and how much inventory you have available to meet demands provide peace of mind as both of your supply chain and the market can be unpredictable. Now we are on the second functions of inventory, the pipeline inventory. Pipeline inventory naman ay refer siya to the products that a business has en route. Typically, when a retailer order a product from a supplier, there is a lead time until the order will be received. But no matter how long the lead time is, the product counts as part of the buyer's inventory as soon as it has been paid for. Aside sa raw materials, most products will require some type of manufacturing time. And almost all types of productions will require some type of transportations. Example, there are some situations where it takes weeks or months for inventory to change hands. Overseas freight shipments, particularly, think of a shipments of automotive parts from Germany that takes a month to arrive to a car manufacturer. Because of this, it's highly unlikely for a retail business to not have any pipeline stock. The ultimate destinations of pipeline inventory could be an e-commerce warehouses. When it arrives at that destinations, it immediately becomes part of the standard inventory count. Calculating your pipeline for inventory helps you see how much cash is tied up in an inventory, as well as the other overheads like transportations and carrying costs. It's especially important for a business with long lead times.
Lot size inventory. Lot size inventory refers to the quantity of an item ordered for delivery on a specific date or manufactured in a single production run. In other words, this type of inventory basically refers to the quantity of product ordered for manufacturing. Decoupling inventory. So the decoupling inventory is a term used when product manufacturers set aside extra raw materials or work in progress items for all or in some stages of production line, so that low stock situation or breakdown at one stage doesn't slow or stop the operations. Anticipation inventory, or also known as speculation inventory, refers to extra finished product or raw materials a business purchase to meet an anticipated jump in demand.
Since we already discussed the function of inventory, which are the buffer inventory, pipeline inventory, lot size inventory, and decoupling inventory, and anticipation inventory. Now, let's move on to inventory classification by critical value analysis. As you can see in the table below, there are four categories that are the top priority, high priority, medium priority, and low priority, and also their item features. First, let's discuss the low priority are the desirable or wanted item we wish to have, such as jewelry and accessories. But even its low priority, stock out still happens. The particular reason for these circumstances is run out of inventory. Let's move on to medium priority. These are the necessary, required, or needed items but occasionally stock out. For example, this coming Christmas, in our tradition, we celebrate and welcome it with necessary items such as round fruits, Christmas tree, stars, and Christmas light, and etc. Let's go to high priority category. These are the essential or extreme important items such as first aid, clothes, and mobile phones. And lastly, the top priority, this is the no stock out, means that the current item isn't available but it will become available again once stock are replenished. Example of this are rice and water. And now, let's move on to table 5.2, an illustration of the ABC classification scheme. In classification A, as you can see, we have the annual usage greater than $50,000 that occurring once a year or every year. Unit cost price that greater than $500. Lead time or the time between initiation and completion of a production process greater than 6 months. And shelf life or lifespan of item to be stored which is less than 3 months. In classification B, we have $10,000 less than or equal to annual usage of less than or equal to $50,000 or an annual usage between $10,000 and $50,000. $100 less than or equal to unit cost of less than or equal to $500 or a unit cost price between $100 to $500. A 3-month less than or equal to lead time, less than or equal to 6 months or a lead time that between 3 and 6 months rather. 3 months less than or equal to shelf life and less than or equal to 6 months or a shelf life between 3 and 6 months. In classification C, we have annual usage less than $10,000, a unit cost price less than $100, a lead time less than 3 months, and a shelf life greater than 6 months.
Customer service strategies in ABC classification scheme. Item A is percent of sales is 70%, customer service level is 99%, weighted customer level is 68.3%. The management strategy is first, frequent evaluation of forecast. Second is frequent or at least once a month cycle counting. Third is daily updates of records. Fourth is frequent review of order quantities. Fifth is small orders. Sixth, or the last one, is frequent follow-up. Item B, percent of sales is 20%. Customer service level is 95%. Weighted customer service level is 19%. And the management strategy is first is cycle counting and second is the medium size orders. Item C is 10%. Customer service level is 90%. Weighted customer service level is 9%. The management strategy is periodic review or visual replenishment or two-bin cycle. Next is large order quantities. And the third is count items infrequently. And the total is 97.3%.
Good day. So now we'll discuss first the three types of warehouses and the other three types we'll discuss by Mari Asiwagan. So let's start. The types of warehouses. First, the general merchandise warehouse. A general merchandise warehouse is a facility used to store goods that are readily handled, are packed, and not required a controlled environment. The goods stored in general merchandise can range from food items to automotive parts. So these warehouses are typically large in size and can be found in urban, suburban, and rural areas. So most of general merchandise warehouses are operated by third-party logistics providers who can manage the day-to-day operation of the warehouse. This includes tasks such as receiving and shipping goods, order picking and packing, returning processing. In addition, many of these warehouses also offer value-added services such as kitting and assemble. By using a general merchandise warehouses, businesses can reduce their shipping costs and improve their customer service. So now we are going to refrigerated warehouse. So refrigerated warehouse is an industrial complex consisting of facilities and equipment intended permanently or temporarily for a storage of refrigerated food and maybe an autonomous refrigeration industry connected to another larger center or with annexes to its activities. So new technologies make it possible to transport fresh, perishable foodstuff from one part of the world to another without compromising food integrity. So, household goods warehouse. A household goods warehouse is a facility used for storage of household goods. These warehouses are an important part of the logistic chain as they allow companies to store and distribute products to consumers in a timely manner. So, these are several different types of household goods warehouses, including a public and private warehouses. So, public warehouses are owned by a government or a public agency while private warehouses are owned by a private company. Self-storage facility. So self-storage facilities are owned by the consumer and are used for storage of personal belongings. Mini warehouses are typically small, standalone facilities that are used for short-term storage of goods. So, household goods warehouses are an important part of the process that gets products to consumers. They help companies store and distribute products in a timely way. By using household goods warehouse, companies can ensure that they have the space to store their products and that they can distribute these products to consumers in a timely manner. This is important for companies that sell products through stores. This lets the company know when they need to make more of a product and when they are selling too much of a product. In addition, using a household goods warehouse can help companies save money on shipping costs. This is because they can consolidate their shipment into one larger order. Thank you.
Special commodity warehouse. A warehouse that is used to store products that require unique types of facilities. Book storage. Book storage is equipment and supplies stored in large quantities, typically in a warehouse setting. Goods are often stored in original containers and without packaging. Book storage may refer to liquid products such as petroleum or industrial supplies such as construction materials. Abandoned warehouse or band is a building or other secured area in which dutable goods may be stored, manipulated, or undergo manufacturing operations without payment of duty. It may be managed by the state or the private enterprise. In the latter case, customs bond must be posted with the government.
Transportation. What is transportations? What does it mean? When we say transportations, it is a movement of goods and persons from one place to another or from place to place, and the various means by which such movement is accomplished. Now, may are nga five different modes and transportations. These are the land transportation system, water transportation system, air transportation system,
pipeline transportation system, and the last one is the roadway transportation system. Now, let's discuss the land transportation system. Land transportation system is a means of conveyance that uses roads, tracks, and paths. It's also known as a ground transport or land conveyance. May ara nga two main forms ang land transportation systems, which are the rail transport, the road transport. For example, bus, car, trains, and etc. Rail transport. Rail transport is a means of transport passengers and goods on wheeled vehicles running on rails, which are incorporated in tracks. Ang rail transport, kilala na bilang isa ka train transport. Next is a road transport. Road transport is the type of transport using roads. Transport on roads can be roughly grouped into the transportations of goods, transportations of people. Now let's talk about the water transportation system rather. What is water transportation system? When you say water transportation system, it is a international movement of water over a large distance. Now, the term water transportation nag-refers na sa act of moving substantial volumes of water from isa ka locations to another. Now, may ara nga advantages and disadvantages ang water transportation system. Let's discuss first the advantages of water transportation system. First is the maintenance cost is less. Second, it is comparatively less expensive than the rail and road transport. Third, it is good for carrying heavy goods. Next, let's talk about the disadvantages of water transportation system. First is navigations become difficult during monsoons. Second, the fear of ships sinking is always concerned. And the last one, it is a slow means of transportation.
Air Transportation System. The air transport system generally includes airports, ATC or air traffic control system, and airlines. The airport represent the ground part of the system infrastructure, handling the aircraft operated by different airlines, transporting passengers and freight or cargo shipments. We have different types of air transportation. So first, commercial airplanes. Commercial airplanes are the common ways in which people travel through the air. Second, private planes are made to provide transportation service for a single person or at most 5 people at a time. Third, helicopter. When compared with commercial airplanes, are much more limited when it comes to passenger space and can only transport a few people at a time. So fourth is blimps. Blimps and hot air balloons are used to transport people for recreational purposes. They cover a limited area that enables tourists to see a location on a longer scope than if they tried to view the area from the ground. Fifth, glider. A glider, which is also called sailplane, is a type of glider aircraft used in the sport of gliding or for recreational activity. Pipeline transportation system. When we say pipeline transportation system, it's a method of transportation which involves movement of solid, liquid, or gaseous product over long distances through pipelines. This mode of transportation is mostly used for transport of crude and refined petroleum products such as oil and natural gas. There are 3 major types of pipeline system. First, gathering system. Second, transmission system. And last, distribution system. Roadway transportation system. Ropeway or cableways are common means of transport in mountainous regions. Quite unusual is a ropeway combining both freight and passenger transport. Such a system provides a supplementary solution to a rising logistical problem in areas with dedicated spatial challenge.